ドキドキトゥインメロメロさ君の涙で恋には Yes yes gonna love you Yes yes gonna want you もう泣くなよ baby おいらがついてるぜクラクラクラトゥイン
Hey paisanos, it's Video Games, the movie, the podcast, Video Game Movie Review Podcast. This month we're talking about Super Mario Bros. The Great Mission to Rescue Princess Peach. I'm Dan.
I'm Maxie.
And we have a guest with us this week. Try to introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Sky. I fell out of the TV and now you two have to deal with me.
Yeah, I hope I didn't, misplace any important necklaces.
I'm sure it's fine.
We got another one just like it back in the shop anyway.
Yeah. Why don't we just, start off by, talking about, what games we've been playing the past month. Sky, you're the guest. Why don't you go first?
Alright, so for the past month, mostly been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel.
Yeah, I've heard about that. I've seen some people streaming it. It looks interesting.
It's good. I would honestly say it is the only way to play Yu-Gi-Oh! At this point. Because it's a way to play the game without having to spend hundreds of dollars on all the cards.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's also, fan programs like, EDO Pro,
Oh, yeah, for sure. I guess I mean, of the official options, it's what I'd recommend.
Yeah.
Besides that, I just picked up Kirby in the Forgotten Land.
Oh, fuck yeah, that game rules.
It sure does.
I have been playing two games, and I think they're the same games I've been playing since the last recording. They're Final Fantasy XIV and Cook Serve Delicious. Both games that very heavily put emphasis on using a keyboard, so that's interesting.
Both games about cooking, from what I understand.
Also very cooking focused. I did end up becoming a culinarian. I spent a whole day just power leveling culinarian, and that was interesting. That was a lot of fun. Let's see. I'm making my way through Stormblood. I just did one of the first big trials. I did it with some friends since they were saying I have friends who have been playing the game for much longer than me, and they've been telling me to just please, when I get to, the big trial, to let them play with me. And I did, and it was a lot of fun. There's a really cool section that you don't have to be a tank to do, but is the most tank-ass thing I've ever seen in this game so far. I won't elaborate further because I don't want to spoil the surprise. As far as Cook Serve Delicious goes, I've advanced further than I ever have in the past. I'm now a 3-star restaurant. I got to experience the dating game aspect, which is very silly because what happens is you get an email from a potential romantic partner. They tell you what their favorite food is, and they ask to go on a date at your restaurant. So when you play the next day of the game, you have a special customer you have to make sure you get the order right for. And later on they'll text you, and you have to fill out, you have to respond to their texts. And it's a little infuriating because it always takes just long enough that one of my things I'm doing expires. But it is a very funny concept.
Oh, that reminds me, there is another game I've been playing, which is Cats for the GBA.
There's, like, with a Z?
It's a game where you raise a cat, and every Sunday, if you haven't been raising it good enough, a girl shows up and takes it from you.
That's incredible. Is that in real time or game time?
Game time.
Right. That's incredible.
But yeah, kind of the opposite concept of what you were describing.
Let's see. Maxie, what have you been playing?
I forget if I mentioned it on the last recording, but I picked up Atelier Ayesha. Played a bit more of that. Also, recently, a friend turned me on to this game, Brutal Orchestra. It's difficult to describe. It is a sort of strategy RPG with light horror themes. I describe it. It's got a similar vibe to Binding of Isaac, but like a little bit more mature about it. There's actual themes and thoughts, and not okay. In this expansion, we're gonna put in even more types of poop and blood.
Right.
So I've been enjoying that a lot. When I first saw it, I was like, I don't know if this is really my thing, but then, like I said, I saw this friend talking a lot about it, and I was like, okay, yeah, no, I'll give it a shot, and I'm really glad I did.
Alright, yeah. I'm looking at this. This is something alright. Holy shit.
Yeah, no, it has a very specific kind of vibe, but honestly, like, the combat and the soundtrack are both fantastic. Like, mechanically, it has this one gimmick about, like, earning and using different types of pigment, and making sure you don't gain too much, because if you do, that'll damage you, and it creates a lot of fun strategies and a lot of fun challenges.
Neat. Alright, let's get into this movie. As far as... So... this appears to be an OVA film. It is, to my knowledge, one of the first video game movies ever. Sky was filling me in before recording that this and one very specific other game movie it's probably the oldest. So we've got that, and what Sky told me about was Running Boy Star Soldier no Himitsu, which is based on the shmup Star Soldier, and released on the same day. But anyways, let's see, it looks like the studio that made this film was Grouper. Let me see if I can find anything else they did. Let's see, studio. Grouper Productions, okay. What did they do? Oh, okay, they've got some, trying to find, let's see, Ike Inachu Takubu, let's see, looks like it's mostly OVAs. There's one about Keropi,
oh yeah, I did see a Sanrio tag. I think maybe they were involved with this too.
Yeah, it looks like there's a couple different ones using what look like Sanrio characters.
That would explain. There is a Sanrio sign somewhere in this movie.
Yeah. It shows up early on during, like... There's kind of 2 credit sequences. It's weird.
Yeah, there's... What else is there? That's all I really know about the background. Sky, do you know anything? Because I know you were telling me about this before recording, so if you have anything to say, I'd be very interested.
Don't really know anything about this studio, but I'm sure they're a nice group of people.
Yeah. So, we open with Mario playing video games. He's totally gaming right here. Can't you see he's gaming right now?
This is such a weird ass video game.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a baseball boy smacking a bunch of falling objects.
Yeah.
It feels like the objects are supposed to be vaguely themed to, like, homework and desks and stuff like that. So I'm wondering if it's like someone described Mother 1 to them over the phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Luigi, like, comes over to tell him to go to bed, but he's too busy gaming.
Mm-hmm.
But while he's gaming, suddenly, it cuts to Princess Peach. She's being chased by monsters and begging Mario to help. And then she jumps out of the TV alongside a bunch of Mario enemies.
Yeah, so I do want to mention, when you say a bunch of Mario enemies, because this is just based on Mario 1, it's more like a lot of the same three guys.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That is true. There's like a big cloud of smoke, and she calls him like a knight, and like he's very confused but very, very concerned. Then King Koopa comes out of the TV. He's really big and scary, and he easily defeats Mario.
This scene has very Popeye vibes to me, and like honestly, a lot of this movie feels like if you stretched out one of those old Popeye cartoons to about an hour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is very Popeye, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Like, especially in, like, the art style.
I could definitely see that with this scene in particular of King Koopa climbing out of the TV, like the way his arms stretch to be, like, giant size, and... Yeah, very interesting animation in this movie, when it has it.
Mm-hmm. So, he, like, picks up Peach and takes her away. They go back in the TV, and, Mario gets a game over screen. Mario really needs to save her, but for now, it's time to go to bed. So, we cut to the next day, and we see that they, we get our opening credits.
The opening credits, there's, like, honestly, this really pleasant, sequence with, like, these, detailed drawings for the title cards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm looking at them now. I do really like this, like, kind of storybook, like, pseudo woodblock art on these title cards, but it absolutely does not go with the song they're playing.
Yeah, it's like, I'm a crazy rock and roller or something.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, there's like a couple different sections in this where they play like some song or another. It's always like some love song or other. This one's like one of the main ones.
Yeah, when Maxie said this feels like something else stretched out, there are like 3 different walking montages in this.
There's so many walking montages. It's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, they're always during like travel montages. They like the walking ones all reuse the same animations.
Mm-hmm.
It's really it's very strange because I feel like this movie tends to go very fast paced, which makes sense. It's like an hour long, but it's I guess they needed to figure out some way to transition to the next scene. But
speaking of transitions to the next scene, One of my favorite parts of this movie is that we come back at the Mario Brothers grocery store.
Yeah, what is this like general store they have?
What I want to know is, where is it?
It appears to be in some kind of like desert town. It's definitely not New York, and it's clearly not the Mushroom Kingdom because of the lore we get. The lore, so like, the setting of this is really weird because the world that the Mario Brothers are in does not resemble the real modern world. It has a storybook vibe to it. But also, they're in a distinctly different world than the Mario Kingdom and Bowser and his people and whatever. But also, when Luigi sees the pendant that Mario has, he recognizes it as a mystical gem from Toad Legend, and it's like, bro, you don't know who those are. What are you fucking talking about?
My best guess is that this is just a different part of the same world. Like, this isn't some alternate dimension or something. It's just like a continent away or something.
My take is...
I guess that could track.
I think it's like, just, the reason it's so weird is just that it's a cartoon version of America made by, some Japanese people who haven't been there. And the legend is just about, like, this necklace opens a portal or something. 'Cause it kind of does. We'll get there.
Hey, was this pendant like a big part of the Mario series Bible back in the day? 'Cause the thing I thought about was, this is like exactly what happens in the live action Super Mario Brothers movie. They get the princess's pendant and it leads them to the Mushroom Kingdom through like a teleporter.
Oh god, I didn't even think of that. Maybe.
There is like, they had 3 paragraphs to work off, and that is the info page on the instruction manual of the game. I know some versions of it talk about Princess Peach having a special brooch, that uses magic. They even like reference, everyone got turned into blocks and bricks. And it's very fascinating. We've talked about how the Super Mario Brothers movie didn't have a lot to go off of. This has even less, so it just has to work with whatever it can. It's very fascinating.
You know what else is fucked up? Is that this is before they standardized green Luigi. So Luigi in this movie is blue and yellow.
Between that and the fact that he has a pretty different personality to modern Luigi, I just prefer to think of grocery store Luigi as his own guy.
Yeah. I get that. Where are we at on Luigi's characterization in this movie? Because like his thing is, he's like a little more practically minded than Mario, but he's also like a bit money grubbing. Not enough to be unheroic per se, but like it's definitely, he is along for this ride because he wants to strike it rich.
So I'll let you go first. Sorry.
My description of Luigi in this is nice Wario.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I will say between the scene of him like telling Mario to get some sleep, and we get the implication that he's running the store, so I feel like that it's basically the opposite version of the live action movie dynamic, where I think he's, money grubbing because he needs that money to raise his little brother.
Mm-hmm.
And to run their little family business.
That makes sense. It does seem like Mario is much more of a romantic, both in the love sense of the word and just the adventure sense of the word.
Yeah.
While they're at this very general store sort of place. Mario's so busy thinking about Princess Peach and how much danger she must be in that he gets like this lady's order wrong. This lady does look like a Popeye background character.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, she looks way more like a Popeye character than she looks like any other character from this movie.
And Luigi, like, pulls out the book, shows that the mystery of the necklace is, like, this legendary Toad artifact. He, like, reads about it. It talks about how the Mushroom Kingdom is full of riches. Mario, like, tries to call General Directory to figure out how to get there. They hung up. And then this little dog shows
Well, hold
up.
on. I do want to mention... Because they don't just hang up. They say, oh, we'll send someone over, and then the dog shows up.
Right.
Which, again, what world is this? Where's the dog?
I fucking hate this bug dog so much. Why is this in the movie?
He's Kibi-Dango. He's a dog made of circles.
Fuck Kibi-Dango. He's a weird little freak and I hate him.
I kinda like it.
Whose idea was this?
I don't know. His whole role in the film is just very strange. He looks much like that old lady from before. He looks nothing like anyone else in this.
Yeah, he looks like he's from another specific cartoon. I just can't put my finger on it.
Yeah. He definitely looks like maybe the studio, like, had some, like, ideas and, like, drew some sketches for potential characters, and this was one of them, and they just reused the design for this. So Kibi-Dango grabs, like, the brooch and takes it away, so Mario goes after it. Luigi, like, grabs some supplies and follows after. They start, like, running around, they're playing the music again. They go down this construction pipe. They're, like, running past it, and it goes down one, and then all the other pipes disappear, so there's just the one to go down. And they end up somewhere dark. A door opens up, it's an old man in a cave.
A cave with, like, meteorites in it for some reason? I don't know what's up with those. But yeah, he exposits at them for a while.
I do want to mention, this shot of them, just slumped together in the dark room with the little circle, like they have a spotlight on them. A little reminiscent of Undertale.
Yeah. Yes. This is male Toriel.
God. This guy looks like a rejected design for a Moomin character. This wizard made of hair.
It's very interesting to look at. I am looking at it, and the eyebrows just go straight into the robe. And his hands are... Yeah, his hands also have the hair on it. He's just made of hair. It's very interesting. Mario and Luigi are singing, and Mario remembers that Peach is missing and becomes so sad that he turns into a vaquero. So...
He does just do the Yosemite Sam thing where he's, like, banging his guns angrily. And it's like... He does just stay in that outfit for, like, the rest of the scene, too. Like, it's not just... Weird. Weird that it sticks around like that.
Oh, yeah, and when the old guy's explaining what the situation is, we get our first look at this movie's toads.
Yeah. They just kind of look like anime girls. or actually, not those toads. The first ones we see look kind of like toads, the toads we see in usual stuff, but later on we see toads that they're very, I guess the only way I can describe it is, like, more conventionally attractive.
Yeah, they got like shoujo eyes.
Yeah.
Between, like, the shoujo eyes and the pale, like, pinkish, bluish skin, I kind of get the vibe that they're classical, like, fae of the woods, but I have no idea if that's what they were actually going for.
I mean, it would make sense. They got the mushroom thing going on.
Yeah, they definitely have, like, a role they're serving. So, the old man explains that Bowser's kidnapped Peach. He wants to marry her. He's turned everyone into stuff that's in the levels. And let's see. I'm trying to figure out. I feel like I've missed something important here. Oh, yes. They have to collect 3 magical artifacts, power-ups to be specific. Mushroom, fire flower, star. And also they get to keep whatever gold they find.
Which Luigi is thrilled about.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's a few things I want to talk about with this. As you've mentioned, a lot of, if not all of the gold coins in this movie turn out to be, like, cursed toads that turn back when they find them. Was this him trying to trick Luigi into helping them? Or does he not realize that?
I don't know.
I don't know if he cares.
Could go either way.
I think, here's the thing. These coins are just erupting from all over the place, so I think some of them are real?
Maybe? It's unclear.
Yeah. Like, later on we see, like, maybe the coins aren't real either, or they have some property that means he can't actually keep them. So...
The other thing I want to mention is that by assigning, like, the 3 power-ups of the game this status as, like, the 3 legendary items you need to collect, it retroactively makes the game feel like one of those weird licensed games where they didn't know what to make the collectibles. So, like that Berserk game where you're just getting fistfuls of Baelits every level.
Collect, boxes of lasagna or donuts or whatever.
Exactly.
So, they set off on the, first travel montage. At one point, they go into, like, a little city and Luigi gets some coins.
At a casino, yeah.
Yeah. There's some signs for, like, the various groups that are funding this. And then we, come across these, Goombas spying on them.
They've made camp for the night, and Luigi is complaining that he's so hungry, he needs something to eat. You would think that the guy who owns a grocery store could have packed some dry goods before they set out on this adventure.
Yeah, especially because it seems like he did pack something. He's carrying this big backpack with a shovel, but I don't think he pulls anything out of it ever. I think he only uses the shovel.
He mostly just uses the backpack to put more gold in.
Yeah.
Gotta put more gold in there. They need more room for gold. Let's see. So, at one point, so he's like so hungry, he's like trying to grab the food that Mario is dreaming about. He imagines Kibi Dongo as like some sort of fried dish. And then these little Goombas show up. The Goombas are like just this, threat throughout the film. They just like are there to like trick the Mario brothers and like lead them into traps.
Yeah, I really like these guys, honestly.
they're a fun little side character. Little pair of side characters. They say they know a place where Luigi can get plenty of mushrooms to eat. So he runs off to get them. And soon after, Mario follows after, and it turns out these are shrooms that give you emotions depending on what you eat.
We can never make fun of Newgrounds again, because this movie has made it canon that if not Mario, then Luigi gets high as fuck.
He's doing so many strains of shrooms.
And Mario's reaction to this is, okay, I'll just mix uppers and downers, and that'll level him out. And he's no, Mario. We've all made that mistake, but that only makes things worse. So really, this is an edutainment cartoon.
What's the anger mushroom? Caffeine?
That's what we in the business call a lateral.
So yeah. Also, fuck, I forgot what was it. Oh yes, Mario's gonna give Luigi Quill. And naturally this doesn't work. He's just switching throughout all the different moods. Mario gets, like, snatched up by a paratrooper.
They really emphasize its turtle beak to try and be like, look, it's a bird.
Its children are, like, actual birds, too, which is, like, fucked.
Absolutely.
I don't even know, like, how any of this is working.
They both come out of eggs. They're basically the same animal.
It's like a Pokemon evolution. So Mario feeds them the shrooms so they don't eat him. And then the paratrooper comes by with Luigi and Kibidongo. Mario is able to trick the baby birds by pretending to take a bite out of Luigi and saying he's rotten.
And
but
he's able to trick the mom by getting the kids to want the real world food they were asking
and,
about
like,
before.
Hamburger, yeah.
We get a little bit where, like, Luigi, like, just storms off in anger, but only realizes that they're, like, on this cliff. It's just like this big spire with little bits of cliff on it.
It's full Looney Tunes. Like, he walks off into thin air and then, like, runs back onto the nest. And also, Mario realizes that further up this weird, like, cone mountain, the power-up mushroom is frozen in a block of ice.
Yeah. Mario climbs up it. They end up... He's trying not to fall off. I believe, like, he grabs onto the ledge and the ledge breaks off. But they end up falling down.
There's
Luigi
there's this geyser of coins that Luigi catches, but then they spill out of his hat.
There is a gag I like where the baby birds try to save them, can't really do it, and then just say, you guys are hopeless, and leave the movie.
Yeah, they're gonna go eat some hamburger steak. So when they land, they're, like, in, like, a pile of mushrooms, and the mushrooms turn into a bunch of toads.
See, I thought it was the coins that were turning into the toads.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, because I didn't take notes, and yeah, it's the coins, and I don't know if this is supposed to be the same pile of mushrooms they started in, because it looks different, but it's the same spot?
I mean, also, you know, it's daytime now instead of evening.
Yeah.
Hey, this one tall toad lady.
Yeah.
Kind of a MILF.
Kind of a MILF. Hit reblog. She, like, thanks them, They have the mushroom now. So they set off on another travel montage.
A lot of these. A lot of just, musical numbers that are just kind of in there.
Yeah. The lyrics here do actually start talking about Princess Peach. But, like, they pass by, like, they have to deal with, like, some bullet bills, some Koopas. There's one really big Koopa, but Mario just turns big, like the milk ad. So now we know Mario can become big because he's got the mushroom.
This perspective shot of Big Mario sucks so bad.
Yeah, his head is much more disproportionate, or his head is the size of a normal human head, which is to say, much smaller than Mario's normal head. It's very weird. I'm just looking at this shot of Big Mario. It's so much. But they eventually end up at a crossroads. And those little Goombas show up again. They're trying to figure out a way to get to their destination, and they say there's a lot of courses. There's the ice course, there's the lava course, and one of them is the flower garden course, full of beautiful smelling flowers.
So,
which Mario gets very excited about.
A few things I want to mention here. They do come out of a big shoe, like in Mario 3, and I wonder if that means anything.
I don't think so.
It's normal. They're always doing this. But
so the other thing I want to mention is that, like, people joke about, this being the first Sword Art Online or whatever, but, like, looking at this and the live-action Mario movie, it seems like they both had the broad idea of, like, it should be like Wizard of Oz. And I think that's specifically because they're about to go into the poppy fields, like, straight up.
You know what? I had not considered that, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah. They're so amazed by these beautiful smelling, weird flowers. I guess they're flowers, but no. I don't know how to describe what the flower form of this looks like. It's got like this weird budding, there's spots on it. It's very strange. But in reality, they're all piranha plants. So, like, they have to get away from it. Mario has to shake some pepper into one of them so it sneezes. They're getting chased by this big, like, tangle of them. They get away, and then it just, like, sort of collapses, like... It basically...
It's like in an old game when, like, you get out of the castle and it starts, like, crumbling into the bottom of the screen.
So I
show that
think the implication is that they were running around in just such a way that they tricked them into tying themselves into a knot. But they, like, just barely, like, they do not really show that.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Why did Mario have pepper? We're not playing fucking Burger Time here, alright? It's God modding, is what it is.
Yeah, you think Luigi pepper would have pepper in his backpack from the grocery store. And then once they get out of the garden, they meet the gardener.
Yep, who's a Lakitu. He, like, throws little spinies at them, and is, like, complaining about them ruining his garden. He pulls some switches on his little cloud, and we see that he can, like, summon rain and thunder and all sorts of weather effects. And then the little spiny balls grow into Spinies, the enemy.
I am completely entranced by the way that their spines, like, pulsate and, like, go in and out of their shells.
Yeah. It's very fun. I love how they, like, sort of, like, crawl.
I'm just still stuck on the idea that he grows them like seeds, but they're still just turtles. They aren't like plant turtles or anything.
Yeah. That's just what they do. I did also find out, I think this is just a normal thing, but they are called Jugumo Pipos, or the Lakitu is called Jugumu, and the Spinies are called Pipus. But they are able to escape thanks to a sudden big vine that grows out of the ground, like in the video game.
This is another example. I forget if it's come up before on this show, but sometimes you don't need to adapt everything from the video game directly. You know, you can chill out a little bit here.
Yeah, and also, like, even then, if they stuck a little closer to the video game, then it would be like, oh, they tried hitting the block because they're, like, at least then it's like something happened because they tried something and not just a beanstalk appeared under his foot.
Mm. Things just sort of happen.
Yeah, things just sort of happen in this movie.
So, Mario is able to get, like, the cloud from the Lakitu and get away. He tries to mess around with the weather effects so they, like, go away, the Spinies go away.
Yeah, basically, Lakitu used summer sun to wake them up from hibernation, so snow puts them back to sleep.
Yeah. And then the Spinies turn into a big field of regular flowers. And they get the flower power up from a toad. The little Goombas spy this. The toad gives Mario a kiss, and we get another travel montage. I love these. I love seeing this walk cycle.
This is where I started, actually getting a little mad about it.
This has me thinking about the people who paid, hundreds of dollars to find this VHS, and how that's, the closest thing to a real version of that Patchy the Pirate joke.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a bunch of cheap walk cycles.
I will say there's one part in this sequence that sticks out to me, and
oh yes,
it's when Mario and Luigi jump into the blocks. First Luigi jumps into a coin block, and I mostly noticed that because this proves that he's hitting it with his fist thing has never been true.
Wait, really? I missed that.
Yeah, no, he hits the block with his head.
That sucks.
And then Mario hits a block, and what appears to be, actual product placement happens?
Yeah, yes. So I could tell you a little more about that.
Oh, Mario Ramen! I love Mario Ramen. Yeah, please do.
So, yeah, this was part of a larger promotion where a ramen company made Mario, ramen, curry rice, and I think something else. And in addition to being mentioned in this movie, they released Katakita Mario Bros., which is a re-release of the arcade Mario Bros. With a few quality of life features. The sprites are a little cleaned up. And also they added a bunch of advertisements for Mario Ramen.
Later, there's an advertisement for Mario rice seasoning as well.
Yes. I love Mario rice seasoning. I put it on every meal.
As long as that meal has rice in it, one presumes. I guess you can put furikake on whatever you want. There's no law against it.
So they continue in their travels, and eventually they end up at, like, a trail of coins leading into a cave.
This is like how you trick an animal.
Listen, they're both very stupid boys.
Mm-hmm. Listen, if I saw a trail of candy, I'm just gonna... I want that free candy. It works every time.
It is just the bit from E.T. where they do that, but, like, weaponized for evil.
Yes.
Thinking of that post that describes a monkey that was able to escape its enclosure by turning a tree into, like, a makeshift pole vault, but then got lured back in with a trail of peanuts. That's these guys.
Yeah. So this flawless plan goes off without a hitch, and Mario and Luigi end up in a cave full of coins, but they get locked inside. They're in, like, a little gold mine, and the Goombas are like mocking them from, like, the other side of, like, a set of bars, and they've got this big hammer bro guarding them. So we then cut to Peach and Bowser. I do love the stuff with Peach and Bowser. Peach hates being here. She wants to be rescued by Mario, but Bowser is just so very, very in love with her, and this is something that's just throughout the rest of Mario canon.
Yeah.
I liked the line where Peach says, "If you really loved me, you wouldn't put me through this endless suffering." Because that's just what straight women say about their boyfriends on Twitter.
God.
Right.
So, yeah, that's something I want to mention, is that in addition to more or less being, like, how Bowser is portrayed in, like, you know, the sports games, or whenever he's with Junior, where it's like, oh, he's nice even though he kidnaps the princess. Like, this is also the closest we get to his modern design for a while, cause, like, he doesn't look like this in the games, he doesn't look like this in 3 or Worlds.
Now, no, he looks kind of like this in 3.
I'm mostly thinking about, like, the
like
colors.
That in World for sure.
Because in World, he's definitely, like, all green instead of the specific...
Hang on.
I'm looking. Yeah, I mean, the colors are a little off, but I assume that's just because of the limits, in the palette or whatever, but, like, you're right, like, in Mario 3, he's got, like, the orange hair, and, let me see what he looks like in World. I think, okay, yeah, World also has the orange hair.
It's his arms that are fucked up in World.
That's what I was thinking of, yeah.
He's got green arms. Yeah, this is very interesting, because we don't really see any in-game art of Bowser like this until Mario 64, maybe. And that's just strictly speaking in terms of colors.
Yeah, and, like, he's kind of got the colors in Mario Bros. NES, but he doesn't have the hair yet, like...
Wait, hang on. I just gotta real quick look up Super Mario RPG Bowser, because I think he looks like that. Yeah, Mario RPG Bowser is, like, the first time he looks like this. And even then, I think that came out around the same time as Mario 64.
Yeah, it's a lot closer to Mario 64 than it is to this, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I think he looks like this in promotional art, but nothing in game.
But my point is, this is, like, in a lot of ways, very faithful to how Bowser would be portrayed all the way up until now. But he's also a shapeshifter, and they keep saying shit like he's a sorcerer king.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, listen, that's still canon.
I think...
Well, about that song where he doesn't know how to read, though.
That's true.
You don't... Listen, reading's for wizards. Fuck D&D, but, like, the dichotomy between wizard as, like, a book nerd and sorcerer as, oh, I just do the spell, that was genius. D&D did a good job with that one.
Yeah, I also want to mention it for this. I want to say it was Mario Party 1 or 2 that references him as the king of all magic. And I wish we got this angle more, especially because he has that little, like, wizard henchman.
Yeah, come back. That is interesting. In two different timelines, there's one where Bowser Spect is a fighter and one where Bowser Spect is a wizard.
Yeah, pretty much.
So he's being very affectionate towards Peach. She, like, tricks him to, like, turn into stuff for him, like shapeshift into different forms. And one of them is a teddy bear, which she then locks inside a little box.
But then he just shapeshifts out of the box, so...
Yeah. He just becomes big again. Mario is in jail, and he's thinking about Peach. He dreams of dancing with her. You get a little dancing sequence. But while he's been doing that, Luigi's been digging.
I love that Luigi just interrupts his dream sequence by tunneling into it. I always love that kind of gag. So they, like, jump into the little... After, like, it takes some time to get Mario to realize what he's doing, but eventually they get into the tunnel and are able to escape, but they gotta get rid of this, Hammer Bro. Eventually what they do is, let me see here. Yeah, they, like, roll a boulder down, like, this land bridge, and it's able to, like, destroy the bridge along with, and, like, send the Hammer Bro tumbling down. On the other side of the land bridge, Luigi is crying because all the gold he collected turned into rocks. He is sadly emptying his backpack, and it turns out that somehow the star got in there, and it falls out with the rest. It floats down into the water, and Mario and Luigi follow it. So this is weird. They don't need to breathe, but Luigi's distressed because he can't swim. And yet somehow we later see that he got to, like, a little far side miniature desert island, so I don't know what that's about.
He treaded water.
I guess.
Also, I don't like this whole stretch of, like, okay, so they find the mushroom in a mushroom field. They find the flower in a garden.
Well, they did find a mushroom on a mountain.
Yeah, still, they, like... The idea that Luigi just already has the star and we just missed it kinda sucks to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Luigi is a superstar.
And I think...
I guess he could have found it in the gold mine.
No, he got it by doing absolutely nothing.
Oh, you're right. That's how he gets them.
But yeah, so Mario and the dog swim down into the depths, and some real good, just, like, fucked up creatures down here.
You get like
there's a Cheep that's like, it starts as a manta ray, and then it unflattens itself, and then it gets really big and explodes into a bunch of smaller Cheeps.
Yeah, and there's a clam that has a little face on its tongue.
There's like an anglerfish.
The anglerfish is just chilling out.
Yeah. We get a Cheep that just like inflates and like
it explodes
into a bunch of little ones. But the stars in the clam, they gotta get it out. Mario and Kibidongo do like a musical performance to attract it. And then Mario climbs inside, but now he's stuck inside, so Kibidongo has to like tickle it to make it sneeze.
You know what? Going through this description, I've changed my mind. I'm with Maxie. You could write him out of this movie and nothing would change.
Yes. Kibidongo's such a fucking weird addition.
We've not even gotten to like the weirdest part. Like when we get to the end of this movie, I'm gonna be actually mad, and I don't want to hear you spoil it.
No, I've been careful not to mention anything. Oh yeah, and on their way out, they end up on a pirate ship that they make fly by breathing into the sail, and they get attacked by a blooper when they breach.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really big one too.
Yeah. It's one of those giant bloopers.
It's the guy from Mario Sunshine.
Yeah! Oh, I love Gooper Blooper. Little freak.
Yeah. And guess what? It's another travel montage, though this time they're on a boat instead of walking.
Here's the thing. I actually really like this one.
Yeah, this one's nice. It's got like this, it's got a different song.
It's got this like starry background. Luigi's just like chilling while Mario steers. There's a sense of adventure and comfort to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like this sequence would be a lot better even if they don't change it at all, if they just took the other ones out and like we just got this one right before they get to the castle.
Mm. I'm just thinking of how a slightly better version of this. And I think like instead of the travel montages, we get like more like cuts to Princess Peach, sort of like how they would do in like a Paper Mario or what have you.
Yeah.
And they see in the distance this castle on an island, which has to be King Koopa's castle. But
so this is something I somehow missed the first time, but when they see it, there's this like big crescent moon with a face behind it, and Mario says, "Oh, well, the guy said he was supposed to get married on the night of a full moon." And then it like puffs up its cheeks and turns into a red full moon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's very good.
This is how blood moons happen. But at this point, the ship's starting to fall apart, so that's a worry for them.
Can I say?
Yeah? Yes?
We see the actual, like, marriage ceremony that Bowser is hosting now.
Yeah?
We get, like, some world building, and, like, it's a little funky.
Yeah.
Like, there's a big bonfire, and the, priest, I guess, has, like, a pair of maracas that he's richly shaking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is something that they hinted at earlier, but they are called the Koopa Clan instead of the Koopa Kingdom, so it really feels like they're trying to characterize them as, like, the savage tribe kidnapping the the Western princess, and it just kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It does feel very, I guess, I feel like if I had described this to an actual group, it would be incredibly offensive. So I'm just going to say, it feels very 19th century.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
So, Peach is, getting makeup. They're doing a terrible job at it. They give her, like, these big red cheeks. She gets a hat. She gets a fancy crown that looks like a butt. I do like this Koopa that's just, like, giving her the makeup. He looks different from the others. He's got, like, a bowl cut and a different color palette.
And when you say a bowl cut, that means he's the only one aside from Bowser to have hair.
That's true. That's incredibly true. So, Peach is talking about how I've waited for this day. Oh, how I've waited. But it's not about getting married. It's about Mario showing up to rescue them.
Bowser is, like, so mad because he was getting really excited. It's...
Mm-hmm.
This poor guy.
I love this version of Bowser. Which is to say, I love Bowser. Bowser DM. So, they get shot down, but they're able to land in the castle. We also see, like, those Goombas from before, and how they've been, like, trying to, like, how they've been working with, King Koopa to stop the Mario Brothers and capture them. So, Mario and Luigi start running. We get, like, these 2D platformer sections.
Yeah, honestly, this is something else I think they could have replaced the walking montages with, and it would have been at least cute.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean.
They, like, go through some, like, clock tower wheels, and eventually they end up, over a big lake of fire, and the Goombas are, like, on this little disco ball that can, like, they can pull switches on it and, set up platforming challenges for Mario.
Hey, speaking of pull switches, they do have arms.
They have arms now. It's very disconcerting.
I did not notice that. In my brain, I was just like, oh, they're probably pulling them with, like, their feet or their mouths or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's grotesque.
They don't have it in any other theme. They just have them here.
Yeah, because it really feels like the animators realized, wait, we wrote that they pull switches. Shit.
Luigi is still mining for coins. Luigi is playing Minecraft while Mario is playing Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, and he hits an aquifer, and the whole castle, I guess, just floods.
Yeah. It, like, floods the castle, it puts out the fire and just turns it into a nice warm bath. The whole castle just ends up falling apart because Luigi broke some load-bearing bricks or something. So with the
Bowser House.
Yes, this is Bowser House.
He melted the vinyl siding with his breath.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now I do wanna say, I think this big lava room, I'm choosing to believe this is Bowser's tub. Like, we see in Mario Sunshine, he likes a hot tub. I think he just, like, hangs out in this lava pool when he's not doing anything.
Yeah. There's some Luigi got into the insulation under the stairs. And yeah, the whole castle falls apart, so Mario's gotta fight Bowser. And he's gotta get all 3 power-ups, along with some delicious Mario rice seasoning. Mario's able to consume 2 out of 3 of them, but the star, gets away from him. Peach is, begging him not to, kill Mario. And
we did miss a good gag where, Bowser gives her the engagement ring, and it's way too big
for her arm.
It's a little smaller than one of his fingers, but on her it is, she couldn't even wear it as a belt.
Yeah. He says, well, if it's like a bracelet, that shows I love you even more.
Yeah, I like cute Bowser.
Mario's gotta get the star. Thankfully, Luigi dug it up. And also Bowser is saying, if I don't kill Mario and let you marry me, then he could be a threat later. So
yeah, because he did eat 2 of the power-ups. Anyway, it ends up a moot point. Luigi feeds the star to Mario. And again, like in a classic Popeye cartoon, he has had the spinach now, so Bowser tries to crush them both underfoot, but then Mario just he does do the so long gay Bowser here.
He does do that.
I think this is the first appearance of Mario doing that to Bowser.
So this is pure speculation, but I feel like Miyamoto saw this and liked it.
Maybe.
Could be.
I believe it. So after Gay Bowser is so longed, the whole kingdom returns to normal.
Yeah, it turns out that this is where Peach's castle normally is, and he just vanished it or whatever.
Yeah. Mario gives her back her necklace from the start of the movie. And she talks about how someday a wonderful prince with the same necklace will appear. And wait a minute, they had one just like that back at the shop. Mario's gonna go get that necklace. Hey, remember the fucking weird dog that's just in this movie? He's a beautiful prince. Beautiful Prince Haru of the Flower Kingdom.
What an idiot! Listen, I don't even mind the idea of making things a bit bittersweet, Mario doesn't end up getting together with the princess, even though he's very clearly smitten with her, but this is such a stupid way to do it. You didn't need to put this character in the movie at all. Why did you... What the fuck? And this has never come up until now, so it's not a twist. It's just
honestly, I think it would be...
The dog was a prince.
I think it would have been a better twist if no dog, and then, at this point in the movie, she just tells him, oh, I'm royalty, so I'm betrothed to this other prince, and, she looks off in the distance, and maybe we see, a silhouette of him or something. He doesn't need to be the fucking dog.
But Mario's okay with this because her happiness is his happiness. Fuck yeah, he's proud to be a cuck.
He should...
Shut up!
Oh. Another thing they could have done, those Toad girls were calling him cute. Why not just hit one of them up on the way out?
Yeah, just get that rebound. The hermit shows up again, remember him? And he's here to tell us that the real power-up is the friends we made along the way.
Wow, that's so beautiful. But Mario and Luigi head off, and the credits play. And they're like walking away, the credits are playing, and we get a little post-credit scene where the old lady from the start of the movie is like getting another grocery order, and who would you expect to see at the grocery store but King Koopa and his minions running it.
Why are they here?
I don't know why they're here. It's funny to see it, but
it just feels like it feels like they had this idea and then they were like, should we like write a punchline? It's like, that's the whole joke. It's Bowser is there.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I guess it's better than no stinger.
And the movie ends with a game over screen.
I do like that.
I feel like they should have done anything to, like, even if they just had him look at the camera and be like, well, nothing better to do now. Like, just anything, because it's almost a good joke.
Mm-hmm. It's a living.
Exactly.
So, how are we going to, rate this film? Well, first off, actually, just so you know, the way we rank these films is by adaptation quality and by standalone film quality. Adaptation doesn't strictly mean this, and this happen. It means, do I get the sort of vibe the same sort of vibe from, the movie as I do from, the game.
So, this is something I was alluding to earlier, but I feel like more than this being an adaptation of the game, it feels like this and the game are both adaptations of the Mario lore Bible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think as
I'm
an
gonna say...
No, go ahead.
I think this is a pretty... I think this does more or less aim for the sort of fantastical nature that was being aimed for with the game. And I do think it does manage that by being a film a little better than it does by being a game, but... So, I'm gonna give this, like, a 4 out of 5 for adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
As far as quality of the film goes, originally I was gonna give it a 4 out of 5. I think it's overall enjoyable and nice to look at, but, like, I think it's held back by pacing issues and, like, the product placement both times feels very out of left field. And, like, after talking about you guys with, like, certain decisions made and, like, how weird the ending is, I think I'm lowering it to a 3 out of 5.
I think 4 out of 5 adaptation, 3 out of 5 movie is also where I'd go for it. Like, it's not bad, and I don't feel like I wasted my time, but at the same time, there are better movies you could watch, there are better shows you could watch. It does seem like the sort of thing where probably a younger audience would enjoy it a lot. You could, like, pop this on for an hour while you make dinner for your kid, and it'd work.
Yeah. I think if I had watched this as, like, an 8-year-old, I would have loved it. Sky, do you have a rating?
Yeah, I would just agree with your rating and say, it's a lot like a cup of instant ramen, it tastes pretty good, but it's forgettable and not much of substance.
Mm-hmm. Alright. So, with that established, let's open up, the mailbag channel. If you want to send in a question, you can either send it in response to one of our Ask tweets, that we set up every month, or you can send it in response to you can send it in our Discord, which is linked in the episode descriptions and the Twitter itself. By the way, our Twitter is at VGTMTP. I am looking at this, like, VHS cover art, and I do like, how the prince looks like in this one. He looks a little more goofy. I wish he had looked like this.
Yeah, also, same with the toads, who are just, like, these little round blobs. They look a lot more like mushrooms for their simpler designs here.
Yeah. Makes me think of, like, the, Cappies in the Kirby anime.
Yeah.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah, that's some A tier, some S tier, generic townsfolk designs.
I will say, it drives me up a wall that they're like, okay, we're gonna have the Cappies, right? But we're not gonna let them keep their mushroom caps? Like, why even use them at that point?
Right. It is interesting to think about. But for now, let's see. I'll go over the Twitter questions first. We've got 3. Well, technically we've got 5, but let's get right into it. So, our first question comes in from, at Chumpersonable. Hey there, Holly. She asks, what's your favorite early franchise weirdness in video game series? Or favorite new characters added by adaptations that just did not have anything to work with? So, I know exactly my answer for the first one. It's Fallout 1. There's all these, like, weird little bits and details you can find in Fallout 1 where they're just trying to figure out how to make their post-apocalyptic setting work. Like, there's, like, references to, like, this religion that, the people of Shady Sands follow. And, the vaults aren't quite the, experiment vaults as we saw in, later installments. That's my favorite early franchise weirdness. As far as new characters added by adaptations, I'm sure there's something, but nothing's immediately coming to mind. I'll move this on to whoever wants to go next.
I think one of the things that fascinates me most is I don't know if they've necessarily stopped doing this entirely, but they definitely don't do it as much. In early Pokemon, they'd sometimes just have, like, normal animals in there, or imply the existence of normal animals in addition to the Pokemon, and I feel like you can't really do that now, because they built up a whole ecosystem, and it would feel fucking weird.
Yeah, since I was also thinking about Pokemon, I'll just mention here, it feels like with just the first Pokemon game, they're trying to imply that, it's the future version of, like, a Final Fantasy or a Dragon Quest world, so, it's still about monsters and potions. But they don't really do anything else with that. Like, there's never a wizard, there's never a...
I mean, Alakazam is sort of a wizard, isn't it?
You know
true.
what I mean, though. Like, no one has an RPG
I do know what
class.
you mean. Yeah.
I'm... Actually, now that you've mentioned it, one thing that I find interesting with early Pokemon is, like, in addition to real animals, like, references to, like, real places, like, the whole, like, set of journals about how Mewtwo was made reference, like, South America, instead of, like, some Pokemon region, which,
Also, Lieutenant Surge is just straight up American, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's something. Either of you read that Pokemon manga that, like, similar to this, was only based on the first game?
No.
I've heard of it, but I've never read it.
So, in that, Lieutenant Surge turns out to be not just a bad guy, but explicitly working for Team Rocket.
Oh.
That's really interesting. I love that.
Like,
Speaking of Team Rocket, the best characters to be added to any video game adaptation are Team Rocket, Jesse James, and Meowth.
Yeah, it's gotta be Team Rocket.
I didn't even think of them,
iconic.
but yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see. Next question from at Casey Cosmos.
Oh, I wanted to talk about some of those.
You got something more?
Yeah, so as a minor example of early franchise weirdness, I do really like how in Mother 1, if you make a wrong move, you can permanently give your character asthma. That just sucks in such a funny way.
I forgot. Wait, I actually didn't know that was an optional thing. I thought that was just in the game. That's really interesting. I'll have to look more into that.
Yeah, and for the second question, it's not an official adaptation, but if anyone out there is familiar with the Proto-Men, I think the addition of Joe as the guy the Sniper Joes are based on is a really fun idea.
Oh, fuck. Now I'm thinking about adaptation exclusive characters, and I am thinking of specifically, like, the ones that are in, like, Ian Flynn Sonic comics, like Tangle, Whisper, there's
Surge.
Or Quake Woman from his Mega Man comics is also really good.
Hang on, what? I gotta look this up.
Quake Woman. I've heard of her, but I haven't looked her up before.
Oh, she rules! I love her!
Yeah, so her deal is, like, asking, like, actual sci-fi questions about AI, where she goes through a traumatic event, her creator turns her emotions off, regrets it, and turns them back on, and they're both just sitting with that when the series establishes them. I think it's really interesting. I'd really recommend Ian Flynn's Mega Man run, especially now that it's probably never going to be continued.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. I gotta read those comics someday. I fucking love his Sonic comics from the time. And I was gonna say my favorite example from that is probably, Clove the Pronghorn. Clove and Cassia are like these two characters that I don't want to get into it. It's a little complicated. So, I'll move on to the next question. Casey Cosmos asks, what color is your plumber suit and or princess dress to distinguish yourself from other Mario characters?
I would not to be too much of a stereotype, but I feel like you can't go wrong with red and black plaid checks.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so I've been sitting on this one since it's been sent in, and I mean, my short answer is just all the good colors are taken.
That's true. That's why I'm having trouble thinking of this.
You gotta go for like a really go for like a khaki dress or like camo overalls.
No, hear me out. So my idea was it would be the same like shade of light blue as Rosalina, but I think the dress itself would have trim around it that looks like clouds.
Oh, I like that.
My plumber form would like look like Cloud Mario.
I'm thinking like a sort of like, okay, I can't think of a good answer, so I'll think of a joke answer. It's going to be, black and pink, missing textures. Let's see. Our next question, from Casey, what's your advantage and trade-off on the character selection screen? I'm gonna go with, I'm slower, but I can do more damage.
I feel like I would also be slower, but do more damage. Maybe I take more damage, but I have more MP.
Right. Sky, you got one?
Yeah, since you're leaning into, like, RPG advantages, I think I would be like Jeff Earthbound, and, like, I'd have a bunch of special items, but I can't use magic.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. What unconnected game would you like to do a Doki Doki Panic to and make into a canon Mario game? By the way, did you know that Super Mario Bros. 2 is actually Doki Doki Panic?
Oh, is that why Doki Doki shows up in the lyrics to one of these songs?
Could be.
Makes you think.
But I do want to mention, so that's become pretty common knowledge, but it's a double turnaround. Because Doki Doki Panic, originally when they were just making the engine, it was an idea for a version of Mario 2, but they didn't like it as much, and this other company wanted to license their shit to Nintendo, so they're like,
Wait.
yeah, we'll take this Mario 2 engine and we'll make it into Doki Doki Panic.
Oh my god, that's
so
great.
The whole time it goes both ways.
Doki Doki Panic was Super Mario Bros. 2.
Exactly.
Holy shit.
Anyway, my answer is, Crusader Kings.
Is it Crusader Kings Mario? I love that.
Just, as Peach, plot to assassinate Bowser Jr. You can get some mileage out of that.
Oh, I was specifically thinking Nintendo games, so my pitch was going to be, just give Kirby controls to one of the characters. We'll say Poochie swallows one of the pea balloons or something, and that's why he can do that now.
Sure.
Let me think. What would be really funny? I'm thinking just a Wario game, but Wario has a gun and it's Doom.
Okay. Whenever he does a glory kill, it just makes a bunch of coins pop out.
Yeah. He's like, instead of like gory stuff, it's like cartoon, like beat people up stuff, like punching someone and like, you can see the fist on the other side, or, he like smashes an anvil on someone's head. Stuff like that. Mike Channels Lightning at Mike Loves Rabbit asks, why is this literally the same as the live action Mario movie? And I do think we went over this. It's cause this is the Super Mario Brothers instruction book.
I will say in some ways, I think it's the opposite side of the coin to the Mario movie. I think a lot of people, when they say, oh, the live-action movie sucks because it's nothing like the games, what they're imagining is this.
Interesting.
And it turns out that the live-action movie has, like, a lot more personality because of that, IMO.
Yeah, it does. I think I do like the live-action movie a little more. I like this, but it doesn't have the same sort of character, I guess.
I will say I like Grocery Store Luigi more than Conspiracy Theory Luigi, but that's like the
John
only
Leguizamo?
thing I would give this.
I also like Bob Hoskins Mario a whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
You know what? I'll say I think Bob Hoskins better casting than Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito? Oh.
That's a tough one, but I kind of agree with it. The fact Bob Hoskins is able to do any impression really well. I fucking love that dude. May he rest in peace. He was a British guy doing a pitch perfect Brooklyn accent.
British?
Huh.
Yes.
Huh. Never knew that.
Yeah. He's also like, I don't think he was like professionally trained. He just got into acting because he thought it would be fun. I fucking love that dude.
Good for him. Rest in peace.
He deserved better than being in that Mario movie, though, if half the stories I've heard are true.
Mm-hmm. So, our last question comes from the Discord. Kitty Cat Herder asks, which video game husband/wife/spouse would you risk it all for to jump into their world and rescue them?
Husband, Leif Bug Fables. Wife, Ronnie Elden Ring. Next question.
Let me think. As far as I'm drawing a blank. It's like so many options are appearing in my head that now no options are appearing in my head. So I'm just gonna look at some video games. Sky, do you have any?
I mean, this feels like a cheap answer, but honestly, like any of the Mario princesses.
That is a good pick. Okay, I'm looking at some video games, and I am going to say, Kim Kitsuragi.
Okay, yeah, no, that's a good
Is
pick.
that guy a husband? I haven't played this. I haven't played that game.
You know,
Yeah.
in the popular imagination.
Yes. I always think of that, like, shot from, like, some news segment where, like, the person, like, coming in over, like, Skype or, Zoom or whatever just has, like, a framed photo of Kim Kitsuragi in the background. So yeah, it's gonna be Kim Kitsuragi. Alright. So, oh, fuck. I'm gonna also double dip with Bug Fables. It's Kabu. I would do anything for him.
Good choice.
You know what? Just to round it out, then, I would say, Bianca from Bug Fables. Queen of all bees.
Oh, now that's a perfect choice. Oh. But that's it for questions. Maxie, what video game movie do you want to cover next month?
I have no fucking idea.
I've got a couple. I've been wanting to, like, do another Resident Evil. Bring
Okay.
Morgan back on for it.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah. Next month, I think it's Retribution or Apocalypse. I don't remember the title order, but
We will
the second
figure out
Resident
what the
Evil.
second one is, yeah.
Yeah. Films. Yeah, so... Oh, here it is. It's Resident Evil Apocalypse. Okay. Yeah. So, that's everything. So why don't we take it to plugs?
Sure thing. My name's Maxie. You can find me at Max Knightley. That's MaxKnightley on Twitter and Tumblr. I have a podcast with my boyfriend Zach where we watch the sitcom MASH. You can find that at Draining the Swamp. That's draining-the-swamp.pinecast.co. And you can also find me on Eidolon Playtest, an actual play podcast centered around cool psychic battles and whatnot. We're currently doing a series of short interludes before we move on to Season 3.
Alright. Sky, where can we find you?
You could find me on a podcast with my girlfriend and a few of her friends, Half Ranma Therapy. We talk about classic genderbender anime Ranma 1/2. Aside from that, you could find my art at Potion Slushy on Tumblr and Twitter, and you could find my cat at rickybabyboy.tumblr.com.
Oh, that sounds good. Alright, I'm Dan. You can find me at a lot of places. You can find all those places at linktr.ee/big_challenges. From there, you can find my Twitter, at Bigger Challenge. You can find my YouTube channel, at Big Challenges. I'm, uploading videos for a Fallout 4 playthrough where I have just a shitload of mods enabled. You can listen to my other podcasts, which include Pod of Greed. It's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast. We're getting towards, we're nearly done with, Season 3 of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. There's like maybe 5 or 6 episodes left. You can, we're also doing this Yu-Gi-Oh tournament called the Cup of Greed. If, I don't know when this will go up, maybe it'll be too late, but, you should sign up and see if you can, play Yu-Gi-Oh with us. You can listen to The Sonic Shuffle, a random and holistic Sonic lore podcast. We actually recently recorded an episode on the second Sonic the Hedgehog film that came out a few months. It came out last month, and that should be up by the time you hear this. You can listen to my finished podcast, Chill Bleed about Ill Bleed, my inactive podcast, Strangers Fiction, which is an actual play, and last but not least, you can visit at Xbox_holiday, where Esther celebrates holidays with Xbox. May's kind of a slow month, but I'll say Happy Piccolo Day, Xbox.
Happy May Day, Xbox.
Happy May Day.
We are so far past both of those. Happy first day in a while that I could bear going outside, Xbox.
Alright. And we are on Twitter at VGTMTP. From there you can find our Discord. And also you can find us on Noisepace.xyz. Noisepace.xyz is a podcast network. It's got loads and loads of good shows. I want to shout out 0 to 0, which recently started covering the Watchmen film, and let's see, Diet Coke and Lila's House of Snacks, where they review snacks. It's a fun concept. I want to give a shout out to Wow Cool Robot, a Gundam podcast. I'm going to be on that in a couple months from now. And Kamurocho Radio, they just finished talking about Yakuza 3. That's it for now. So until next time, this ain't no game.
見つめて魔法のボールあなたと生きる未来が今映るはずよたとえ不幸が待っててもいい愛がさすらう